Muslims are being detained, mosques demolished, thoughts transformed, and children are disappearing. With rare official access,
have you been convicted of a crime?
Our own evidence, and testimony from more than 60 grieving relatives.
Where are they now?
We find out what's really happening in China's far western region of Xinjiang. China used to deny that these places exist, but now we're being given a tour. Taken inside some of the giant secure facilities thought to hold more than 1 million Muslims. This is what China wants the world to see. Offered up as proof that these are not prisoners, but students. Willingly being guided away from extremism.
Is it your choice to be here?
就是我以前因非法法律意识淡薄被感染了极端主义和恐怖主义思想的影响。村委会的孙经发现，他对我说：“这么好的学校，你可以去参加，转化自己的思想。”
Government officials watch over every interview. This is how thoughts are transformed. Xinjiang's Uyghurs, Kazakhs and other minorities, who have their own languages and culture, spend long hours rote learning Chinese, studying China's tightening restrictions on religion, and replacing their religious and cultural identity with something else. I love the Communist Party of China, this man has written.
How often are you able to pray here?
国家法律规定学校公共场所，公共场所不能从事宗教活动。
These are places where adults wear uniforms, and where they don't go home at the end of the day, but sleep up to 10 a room, sharing a toilet, with no idea how many months or years it will be before they can return to their families.
If they don't want to come, then what happens?
这个我没碰见过，但是我们会积极引导他。
It isn't a place where people have to come, obey the rules, stay until you allow them to leave. Sound more like a prison, even if it's a prison in which you can do some art.
你指的监狱是这个地方？你觉得这监狱有画画的监狱吗？我不知道你说的监狱是什么样的监狱。这我们这儿确确实实就是一个培训中心。
I think a definition of a prison isn't about what happens inside.
这个画画只是他的一部分。
It's whether you can leave or not.
这是他自己选择的一部分，但主要还是通过学习国语、学习法律、学技能，通过这个来完成。
Over the past few years, a vast network of high-security facilities has been built across China's western region of Xinjiang, surrounded by high walls, barbed wire, and watchtowers. But in some of the places we're being taken to, the satellite images show that the internal security fencing and what look like watchtowers were taken down shortly before the tours for journalists began. And empty exercise yards have been transformed into sports facilities, on full display when we visit. But if these are show camps, what might that say about the places we're not given access to? With their watchtowers and barbed wire still in place, they look much less like schools. and we're much less welcome. And everywhere we go, the locked and deserted homes hint at the scale of the system and at a definition of extremism that now includes the mildest of Islamic customs and beliefs.
So here it is in black and white, a notice telling people living in this village that certain religious practices are banned. At this point here at number 10 says that the wearing of long beards for young men is not to be allowed.
Rakima Senbei, who now lives in Kazakhstan, spent more than a year in the Chinese camp system just for having WhatsApp on her phone. Only towards the end was she in a facility resembling those we've been shown. Mostly she was in much tougher camps, including this one.
Кісен салды да, басында кіргенде бір жеті менің аяғымда кісен жүрді. Ал енді әдетте бұлай ұрып кеткендер өзімнің басымнан өтті. Мен өзімді де ұрып кетті тоқтайықпен.
When you see the pictures that China is showing the world of happy Muslims studying hard, dancing even inside these facilities that they call schools, what do you think?
Ол жақсы деп жіберетіні бұлар бізге алдын ала айтады. Өйткені ондайды өзіміз өткіздік, мен өзім өткіздім басымнан сол лагерьде жатқан кезде. Егер қай-қайсың аузыңнан шығатын болса, сендер бұдан да қиын жерге кетесіңдер деп алдын ала келіп ескертеді. Сол себепті жаңағы о жердегілердің бәрі қорқады да, солардың айтқаны бойынша істейді. Енді далада билеп, ән айтып деген сияқты.
What, one wonders, might these people have been told by the officials ahead of our visit? Then they switch from Uyghur, their mother tongue, to Chinese lyrics, written by President Xi Jinping. They've been convicted of no crime, faced no trial. But we're told China now believes it can determine their guilt in advance.
有些人他没有去杀人的时候，但他已经表现出一种特征，很可能这个人，在过几个星期他去杀人。那么我们是等他犯罪之后，来处理呢，还是说最好在他进行犯罪活动之前，就制止他？
重要的问题，我从一个，走向犯罪边缘的一个人，一个轻微的违法犯罪分子，我回到了正常的社会状态，成了一个遵纪守法的公民。
It's a policy of treating people as pre-criminals, backed up in gruesome detail by an exhibition that we're taken to. It's designed to prove that China is responding rationally to years of sporadic separatist violence. We're also taken to the Idkar Mosque in the city of Kashgar, one of Xinjiang's holiest sites. Faith is alive and well, we're told, with the government-approved imam even insisting that there is no ban on long beards.
Ularningki dinga e'tiqod qilish qilmaslik u o'zining erkinligi. Soqolmi shuning ishida. U o'zining ixtiyori. Bizningki davlatimizda hech qachon dinga besim ishlatadigan ish yo'q.
Once again, the satellite pictures tell a different story. Right across the region, mosques are being destroyed. Over the past 2 years, in cities, towns and villages, dozens of religious sites, once clearly visible on the satellite images, have been turned into patches of bare earth.
为什么我们不会去清真寺吗？
这边是修路的，这边路八段的。
So I asked if we can get to the mosque. He says that the road is closed. We think it's only just been closed moments before our arrival. We've seen a number of other people on motorbikes, scooters, some cars as well, stopping and asking why they can't get through.
We're hoping to find out what's happened to this, the gatehouse of the Aitika Mosque in the city of Keria. Its distinctive shadow shows it was still standing in late 2017. But now it's gone, overwhelmed by the surrounding commercial development. We get close enough to film the building work. Marooned in the middle, the mosque's prayer hall with its domed towers is still intact. But there's construction machinery on the spot where the gatehouse once stood. Nearby, traditional Uyghur neighbourhoods are being demolished too. The old homes are visible in this image from 2 years ago. Whole swathes have disappeared just a few months later.
This patch of land encapsulates perfectly the two driving forces of modern China: political stability and economic development. There's no doubting that these neighbourhoods were poor, but by demolishing them, by repressing the faith of those who lived in them, and by forcing hundreds of thousands of them into re-education, the concern is that a whole history and culture are being wiped out.
And now the BBC has new evidence of what is happening to their children. In account after account.
Bunlar hemmisi hazır yok.
Bu Bilqis.
Gathered in a meeting hall in Istanbul.
Kardeşim yok. Sınırımın yoldaşı yok. Sınırımın oğlu yok. Benim oğlum yok. Bizim suçumuz ne?
Uyghurs tell us again and again of the immeasurable grief of separation from their loved ones back home.
Do you have any idea who is looking after your children now?
Ballarını mihir şefkat ballar yaslısın namedeki daraltam qap ketkenligini anlagan.
Do you know where your children are now?
Ballarının nerede kampıda dedi, Mağunlu kampıda dedi o.
For decades, ties of language and faith have brought Uyghurs to Turkey, but now there's no way back.
Şu namaz okudun dep tutup anlaganda. Andan 2 yıl oldu. Hiç qanday telefon sizin haberiniz bağ hem de hiç qanday telefon alaqı yok bizde. Üzületdi alaqını.
The 3 children at home, do you know where they are now? Do you know who's looking after them?
Ben desep 2016 birinci 30 geldim Türkiye'ye. Ben kelgen vaqtda yo'lishimdan sanasi qaravat oladi. Hozir aloqa bo'lmaganligini bilmayman, neligini bilmayman.
Your husband was arrested?
15 yillik kesatibdi. Gunoy nima? Turkiyaga chiqibsiz deb.
Bizden hiç kadar bir cinayetimiz yok bizden.
Abdurrahman Toti moved to Turkey in 2013. 3 years ago, his wife and children went back to Xinjiang for a short trip and vanished. Then, earlier this year, he found something online.
Balam köyge vaqtida üzemni turamadım çünkü yig'lab ketdi. Bir adam bir üzemning balasini ben üzemning pushtidigan balani 2 yil 3 yildan keyin ko'rsam men qanday bo'lmoqchi?
He's certain it's his son Abdulaziz in an orphanage, speaking not in Uyghur, his mother tongue, but in Chinese.
你叫什么名字啊？我叫几岁了？祖国的名字叫什么？
Ayni Xitoylashtirish maqsadi. O'zining asli yo'qdir. Maqsad shu. Misolan bu bola 2 yil 3 yilni Xitoyning qo'lida.
Alongside the camps, China has been building something else. Giant new schools, many with huge dormitories. This kindergarten sleeps hundreds. The authorities seem to want to keep them hidden. We find one street blocked by the police. Reports say there's a school here for 2,000 children of detained parents, but we're not allowed to get any closer. This kindergarten for the children of detainees has barbed wire, cameras and signs that say only Chinese should be spoken.
Can you imagine though? Can you imagine?
Senior officials deny that family separation on such a scale will cause lasting psychological damage.
对，跟孩子来讲，这个也是很正常的。那我们平时工作上班，那一天也见不着孩子，或者说一段时间都见不着孩子，但是并不能带来什么实质性的跟孩子这种影响。
What is happening to those children where extended families have been taken into the camp system?
这不会出现这所有的。那如果一个家里所有的人都进了教育中心，那这个家里就很严重了，问题很严重了。那这种情况我没有见到过。
But such cases are not hard to find. Amina Wyatt, who now runs a clothes shop in Turkey, recently found this picture of her stepdaughter on social media. It's a sign her close relatives are in the camps, her stepdaughter in a boarding school and wearing traditional Chinese costume.
If you could send a message to Akida today, what would you tell her?
Onun bir Uygur ekanligini, Uygur bo'lganligini hech unutmasligini degan bo'lardim.
Buried deep on the Chinese internet, there's evidence to suggest there is now a deliberate policy to separate children from their roots.
I have uncovered very detailed evidence of how both students and teachers in these boarding schools, if they fail to speak Chinese to each other, there are severe penalties.
Other documents found by Mr. Zenz mention psychological counselling for the children of parents taken to the camps, and the need to make up for the lack of family love, suggesting China is all too aware of the impact. Since the camps were built, he's found an 82% jump in kindergarten places, and by even more in areas of Xinjiang where Uyghurs are the majority. China's national increase was just 8%.
The Xinjiang government is attempting to gain full control over the young generation, to literally raise a new generation that has been cut off from original roots, from religious beliefs, from cultural knowledge, even from their own language. I believe the evidence really points what we must call cultural genocide.
Tahir, Kaysar, Kausar, Orazjan, ikinci balam Orazjan.
Khalida Akit Kankurza now lives in Kazakhstan. Last year, her family members back in Xinjiang were all taken to the camps, leaving her 14 grandchildren parentless. So she phoned their village official.
Sıvarasam aldı. Nurlubek, benim ballarım kayda? Dep aytıp edim. Sizin ballarınız siyasi okuda dep setdi. Kelinler kayda? Dep aytıp edim. Kelinler siyasi okuda dep aytdı. Hey, benim 14 nemirem kayda? Dep aytıp edim. 14 nemireniz bar koy dep tılpını öşürüp etdi.
Khalida can't look for her family. Anyone returning to Xinjiang is likely to end up in the camps. So we look for her. The family home is locked and deserted. We call the village official. But he hangs up on us too. Other families we've spoken to also give us permission to search for their missing relatives. But we find no one. Only the signs of a giant vanishing. Back on our official tour, job training, we're told, is crucial for people's transformation.
主要培训学员铺床叠被、打扫卫生。
How long does it take to learn how to make a bed?
有些学员是1-2个月就可以学会，有些学员3-4个月，最多的4个月就学会了。
Just to learn to make the bed, 4 months?
那个4个月的是特别少数，但是我们大多数学员就是2个月左右就学会了。咱们是为了改变我们学员们的宗教极端思想，这样咱们的学员结业以后就可以直接到就业岗位去就业。
We would call that brainwashing.
没有那个完全改变他们的思想，我们就是为了让他们思想上的极端这个因素去除掉。
In 2015, we filmed the crowds, young and old, turning up to pray at the Idkar Mosque. Beards were easy to spot. 4 years on, the faces are clean shaven. And this is the scene just before prayer time. Inside, a few elderly men gather in silence.
Isn't the truth that what we've just seen is proof that China has suffocated Islam in this region?
ilgari haqiqatan ko'pdi. Nima uchun ko'pdi desa, u vaqtida unda ish o'rinlarini ta'minlaydigan ish yo'q. Lekin xalqlarning turmushi namorat. O'ttir yoshliklar ish emgak bilan va tijorat bilan, hunar kasb bilan shug'ullanyapti. Shunda bo'lgandan keyin kunduzi ular tijorat qiladi yoki hunar kasb yoki xizmat qilganlik uchun bu yakil namoz o'qiydigan vaqti yo'q.
Until recently, this place was the vibrant heart of a deeply devout society. Now, there's almost no one left. Late at night, we return uninvited to one of the camps we've been taken to on our official tour. Long after dark, the lights still burn. And the sound of thoughts being transformed echoes late into the night.